From athletes to authors, entertainers to innovators, we connect with those who help shape our culture. Join us in revealing stories of their lives and backgrounds, their triumphs and tragedies that molded them into who they are today. Authentically off-script and personally illuminating, this is Audibles with Jason Scarborough. This week on Audibles, Caden Prieskorn.
All right, so you were raised in Lake Orion, Michigan, correct?
Yeah, Lake Orion, Michigan.
So how would you describe growing up there?
It was good. So I got lucky. I was lucky enough. My house was right on a golf course. So my family owned a golf course. So growing up, that's all we did was play golf. We were doing some sport activity, running around the golf course. So it was my house, and the golf club was right behind it, and my cousin's houses were right next to it. So we had 18 holes, a par 3 course, a driving range, and every night we'd be on the first tee right by the clubhouse playing 7-on-7 football. Then my cousin had a basketball court, so we're playing basketball. So we're all over the place. And I feel like growing up, I have 2 brothers and a sister. My parents were both into sports, so it was basically like a sports-oriented. Just fell in love with whatever sport I could touch.
So sports was important really early for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, I probably had a golf club in my hand when I was 2, maybe even 1.
2 years old. So you get your athletic ability from your parents?
Yeah, so both of my parents, they played college basketball. They met each other at Northwood University. Both played D2 basketball, so I kind of got most of my stuff, I'll say, from them.
Do y'all ever have debates on? I know your dad and you had a lot of debates. Do y'all ever debate on who was the better athlete?
I feel like all of us, with me, my 2 brothers, and my mom and my dad, we always say who's a better shooter. I think I think that argument comes up for a free throw shooter or something.
Life on a golf course sounds pretty interesting. So, what's the most interesting thing that you can remember seeing, being brought up on a golf course?
I feel like I was so competitive at an early age. So like anything I did, I'm playing 1-on-1 versus my brothers or cousins. Like it was so competitive because we always want to be better than each other. That or even 1-on-1 basketball, anything competitive those are the times I remember the most.
So you mentioned playing basketball. You were pretty good in basketball. Matter of fact, it seemed like basketball was going to be the thing you played for a while, and then you switched to football. What aspects of the game of football captivated you to say, all right, I'm throwing everything in with football and just going to play football?
I feel like on my youth league teams, I've kind of fell in love with like the group of guys, like the camaraderie, and I just fell in love with the team aspect. And I feel like when I grew up playing quarterback, so like I was always a team guy and doing whatever to win. And I just feel like that aspect I fell in love with the more the team sports and like the individual with golf.
So you mentioned quarterback. You were quarterback of Orchard Lake, St. Mary's, Eaglets. Just to clarify, do you know what an eaglet
A baby
is?
eagle.
There you go. All right. You guided your team to victory in the 3A state championship game during your junior season. And considering, such a distinguished high school football career in Michigan, one might expect, a flurry of offers to come your way, right? But initially, it just didn't go that way. No FBS school was extending an offer right off the bat. So I know you were discouraged. So looking back at that time, how did you internalize all that and deal with it?
Yeah, I was definitely a little discouraged and I'd say the word I was mad, but I kind of just kept working and kept going. Like I knew if you keep putting in the work, something good's gonna happen out of it. I feel like it kind of just shows today, like who I am, what I did, what I'm about, and.
Do you feel like not getting those offers kind of served more as a catalyst to kind of put that chip on your shoulder and kind of serve as motivation?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of motivation because not having nothing, seeing people like I've played with like 10 to 12 Division I players on my high school team, so like seeing all them get offers and go on and play at a really good 4-year level, whether it's Division I, FCS, D2, I kind of gave that chip on my shoulder to just never stop working.
Yeah, you could have played football and basketball at the FCS and Division II levels. You kind of choose a different route. You had a friend named Harold Nash the third, he was a cornerback at Fork Union Military Academy in Virginia. Could you walk us through the series of events that unfolded that led you to make that decision?
So he came his junior year at Orchard Lake St. Mary's when we won the state title. He came like before that season. His dad got the head strength job at the Lions. So he moved into our high school, and they moved into our area, like the West Bloomfield Orchard Lake area. And we kind of became good buddies. And then going into senior year, we both played. We really didn't have anything. We both didn't have anything. He's like, I think they had some connections where like some players that their brothers went to Fork Union or something. So he was like, I'm going to Fork Union Military Academy. And my dad talked to his dad, and I just kind of talked to him about it. I was like, I don't really have much. Like, I don't really want to go to a D2 in Michigan. I don't want to go to an FCS school. I want to go see if I can play on the FBS, the highest. And so he ended up going there. I ended up following him there. We were roommates at Fork Union Military Academy. So we became great friends. And then the year goes by at FUMA, and I break my foot. I don't really have much. I feel like I had a pretty good year. And he had a good year. He played running back and corner. He said, I'm going to Memphis. He has a walk-on spot at Memphis. And his dad showed him my film. His dad showed Coach Norvell and all them my film. And they're like, I'll take you as a walk-on as well. So that's kind of how that relationship, like, I feel like I got to give a lot of credit. I mean, them just looking out for me and just being the great family they are. Like, I can't thank them. I thank them so much, honestly.
It's a big moment in your life and career, and to have a friend like that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to be lifelong friends, I'm sure, after
that. Oh, yeah, I'll do. If he calls me or does whatever, I'm always there for him.
Being at a military school, though, it had to be quite the transition, marching to breakfast, the military grooming requirements that come with that. Prohibition of cell phones, I think, is what I read somewhere. So how did you adjust all that?
Yeah, so I was the first week we got there. Parents dropped me off. I don't know if it was my mom and dad. I think it was my mom and dad. They dropped me off. You put your phone, you give them your phone, so they have it the whole year. And then you just like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, you can't communicate with them for like 2 weeks because like the phones in your rooms aren't working yet because you have to do a payphone through payphone. So I wrote them a note. I wrote a big note. I wonder if they still have it. Like, I was not happy. I was going through it the first couple of weeks, being 13 hours away from home in the middle of nowhere.
The lack of cell phone and the marching would be my no. I can't do that. No thanks.
It was tough.
I can't see you with a crew cut either.
Yeah, I was a buzz cut. You couldn't have no facial hair. If your hair was too long, you'd have to march like I had to march like this, like back and forth for an hour and 30 minutes because my hair was too long.
Good gosh, I couldn't imagine doing that. So you get to Memphis, and this is where you mentioned getting there with Coach Norvell, seeing the tape and wanting you to walk on at Memphis, but they wanted you to walk on as a tight end. Now, you hadn't played tight end before you got to Memphis, is that correct?
Yeah, so I've never played tight end. So when I was supposed to early enroll. Harold early enrolled in December. I was supposed to early enroll with him. I was either going to play quarterback, tight end, whatever they needed me. I really just wanted to play football. Didn't really care where what I was doing. I just wanted to play football. Like, with all that recruiting, all that stuff, I just feel like I just want to play football. I don't care what happens. So then I come in the summer as a walk-on. He early enrolled. I had a broken foot, so I didn't early enroll. I try to come in this summer. There are too many roster spots, so they can only take so many people on during camp in August. So they were full then. So I enrolled in the school. Got there about like August. In the middle of August, I was just a normal student for the first month. I get on the team September. That year they went to the Cotton Bowl. 5th game during the season, I got on the team.
Wow.
My freshman year.
Things are moving fast at that point, right?
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
We don't treat cancer or design breathtaking buildings or slow cook the town's most talked about barbecue. That's all you. You're the ones who create and astonish, game and laugh, who come together and imagine a safer, more connected world. The things you do inspire us every day. So much so, it's right there in our name. Customer inspired. C-Spire. Inspired by you.
Between the blue sky and green grass, there's a Mississippi cattleman making sure the food you need is on your local grocery store shelves. Whether it's a big juicy steak or hamburgers for your backyard cookout, our food starts right here. Because for these cattlemen, it's not just a job, it's caring for the animals that make up our nation's food supply. Just one of the many commodities a Mississippi farmer grows for you, the farm families of Mississippi.
Hi, I'm Erica Bedwell, the Director of Rehab at Covington County Hospital. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says you have a right to choose the swing bed program that's right for your loved ones. Our patients experience a comforting, supportive, and healing environment in large private rooms. Our swing bed staff is highly skilled and includes board-certified physicians, practitioners, and experienced nursing staff, all working alongside physical, occupational, and speech therapist staff to return your loved ones to the quality of life they deserve.
August 2021, that was a pretty interesting time in your life, August 2021. You became a father, right, while you were at Memphis?
Yeah, it might be my second year.
Yeah, second year at
So
Memphis.
a year later, after my freshman year.
So you become a father while you're at Memphis, and you learn about your dad's colon cancer diagnosis while you're at Memphis around the same time, if I remember right. So you're celebrating being a father, and you learn about your best friend, your dad, with this diagnosis. That's a lot of emotion to juggle at the same time. How did you navigate through that?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, like finding out that and then having a newborn at home. But I feel like having my wife there, she was not my wife at the time, she was my girlfriend at the time. But having her there, Callie, having her there, just helped me out, whether it was at home or just off the field, just because I didn't have any family down here. So her and her family was like the only people I really had, because I'm 12 hours away from home. But really, just even off the field, I'd always check in. Like, I'd call my dad every day, probably talk to him for an hour every day. That was an hour of my day every day. Or talk to my mom. Like, I was either talking to a family member every day, either my mom or my dad, just to check in, just talking about anything. So I feel like I try to handle it the best way I could, just being in the situation I was.
You wanted to be present in any way you could. You know, despite all this going on, you become a father. Your dad's battling this diagnosis and this illness. I mean, you respond. Your first full year playing Memphis, I want to make sure I get this right, 48 catches, 602 yards, 7 touchdowns. The Tigers, that helps earn them a bowl berth in a winning season. So considering the hurricane of things going on in your life, and you're moving to a new position at that, and you respond with a pretty good season. So how in the world did you manage to focus enough to focusing on the new position, and you did everything correctly and had a great season?
Yeah. Just, I feel like the development over time, like, will help me, and like, I kind of just like went all in with football, because it's kind of, I feel like, an escape from everything. Like, just being in this building, or when I was at Memphis and in the weight room, or being on the field, I feel like I just focused on football during this time. Like, I just escaped from everything, and I just feel like that kind of helped me, like, and using those other motivations, as my dad being sick, having a kid at home, helped me in the weight room, helped me running sprints, helped me locking in the meeting room, because I want to try to make this career. And that's why I feel like I train so hard, I go so hard, is because because you can't play this game forever. It can stop anytime. So I just want to give it my all and not have any regrets.
So everything you're accomplishing at Memphis, after not having those offers coming out of high school, now you've got some people that are interested, trying to pluck you away from Memphis to come and play for them. So how early did Ole Miss arrive on the radar for you?
Really they didn't arrive till I hit the portal. Like, I feel like there were some other schools that tried to come early, really early. But no, I was so focused on just me and the season. Like, I don't even like texting back people. Like, I'm just to myself and to my family, like, trying to do whatever they need. But no, I was just so focused on the season and having a good season because, I mean, I was, when I arrived at Memphis, I was a 212-pound, 215-pound walk-on quarterback that didn't know anything. I shared a locker. Walk-ons couldn't get food at the time with the football team at Memphis. A lot of people know that. So just, I was against it. I was against everything. I don't think the coaches even knew my name the first year. And now everyone all over me. So
Everyone knows who you
difference.
are now. Yeah. Yeah, especially now. Everyone knows who you are. Don't worry. So it was the 2023 season when you came to Ole Miss. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I hit the portal and I probably had like 30 to 40 schools hit me up, and I narrowed it down. I took a couple visits, but ultimately I loved Oxford, honestly. And playing in the SEC, no, I don't think there's anything better.
Is that what tipped the scales for you with Ole Miss?
Oh yeah, just the SEC, the offense, playing. We played 3, 4, 5 top 25 teams last year, maybe 6. I can't remember, but and playing those away games at Auburn and Egg Bowl, like, there's just so much. I don't know. There's just so much tradition and something I want to be a part of.
I'm gonna just digress just a minute. Did you expect to be that open in that Egg Bowl game last year? Did you realize you were that open?
Me and JJ Pegues did.
Really?
Pegues tapped me. He's like, he knew it was.
He knew you were gonna be that open.
Yeah.
Why?
I knew like off the line of scrimmage because where the safety's eyes were, and like where his eyes were, because if I blocked down, he'd look like Quinshawn or the running back, and then popped wide open free. I don't think Dart knew I was going to be that wide open.
No one knew you were going to be that wide open. I think you even turned around and you were a little surprised, weren't you, that you were that open?
I couldn't believe there was like nobody in like 15 yards. That's what
Maybe 20.
Yeah, that's what I was so surprised about.
You were pretty open. So let's rewind a little bit. Your first interaction with Coach Kiffin. Everyone talks about their first talk with Coach Kiffin. Do you remember yours?
Yeah, I remember I met in his office. I loved how laid back he was. He's very laid back. I felt like it was just very different than when I was at Memphis, or even the coaches in the past talking to him like on recruiting visits. They were so like sitting up, doing all this, but he's leaning back in his chair, feet up, and I just thought that was so awesome, honestly.
So 2023, you talk about coming to Ole Miss, arriving on campus for spring practice. You proposed to your then fiance. You talked about Miss Callie early in April, and you tied the knot that July. So again, things are moving fast for you. At Memphis, they were moving fast. You get to Ole Miss and make the decision. I'm gonna put a ring on it. What made you decide to do that once you got here?
Because I don't know. I probably should have did a little sooner. We had Mac already, but I just feel like she's been. I feel like ever since the day I met her, I knew she was going to be the one. Like, just who she is as a person, what she does. Like I always felt like she, like I just kind of like I said before, I kind of knew she was the one. Like, you can like feel it, you can tell. Like, and so I finally did it when we got to Oxford, and I felt like we did it right out by the stadium, which is pretty cool. So we'll always have that memory. But yeah, she's a great wife, great mother, and that's who I want for the rest, be around the rest of my life.
She keeps you in check too.
Oh yeah, she definitely keeps me in check. She definitely keeps me in check.
Well, I mean, you guys have been through a lot together, and if I had to guess, part of the reason for getting married that July, you guys wanted to make sure with the way things were going with your dad, you wanted to make sure that he could be there, and he was there.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the main reason. Like we got engaged, and we had the wedding like so quick, so he could come.
Mm-hmm.
That was our main. I'm be honest, Callie kind of brought that thing to me, like we should have early because so your dad can be there.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of meant a lot to me, and and it was just so awesome because when he got to Oxford, he actually got to go to the stadium. He's like, this is a great decision you made, and that kind of sticks with me. Yeah, it's kind of awesome to hear.
I'm glad that he got to be there. I've seen the pictures, and that's a memory you're going to have for the rest of your life, without a doubt. So I'm glad that your dad got to be there, seeing the pictures. And kudos to Miss Callie. You think about these ladies, they dream forever of their wedding day, and she's thinking, it's not just about me. She's thinking about you, your dad, and your family. So kudos to Miss Callie for that. Glad that your dad got to be there for that.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
It's your front door. You decide who and what comes inside. Shouldn't it work the same with your doorway to the internet? That's why C Spire created Connect and Protect. So age-appropriate content comes into your home, and the rest stays out there. C Spire's new Connect and Protect plans, starting at just $30 a month. Get the best devices for your kids with free guided setup today. C Spire, inspired by you.
The fabric of any community is its people. It's the commitment to hard work and to be our best. It's where you know your neighbor by name. It's where family is important. At Covington County Hospital, we are your family and friends. That's why your healthcare is important to us. From emergency room visits to primary care to behavioral health, we want to make sure that healthcare is available when you need it. Covington County Hospital, where your healthcare matters.
Up before the dawn and home long after the sun sets. We pass this farm work ethic on to our children, too. They have their chores just like yours, but we also raise animals. Taking care of these animals helps them understand just how important what we do on this farm is for their future and Mississippi's.
Another way Mississippi farmers grow what's important to your life, the farm families of Mississippi.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
Awesome.
2023, here you are. You find yourself from a football perspective. You're a part of one of the top tier offenses in the SEC, and you're in the position of tight end, as we talked about, distinguished head coach. The program's moving upward, and you're like, okay, things are about to start clicking. And a foot injury happens for you just before the season's very first game.
No.
So you got to be thinking, here we go again. Are you serious? Like, can I not catch a break like that, but can I catch a break figuratively? What's going through your mind when that happens?
That was probably a very low point. Just, you have such a good all season, I got such a good camp. It's like camp's about to end, it's probably like the last camp scrimmage, and like some of like the older, like coach doesn't have the older guys or a lot of like the people that are going to play a lot. Like he only has them go a couple drives.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, we're on the goal line, last play, someone just falls on my foot. And it's my last play of the day, so I really don't know like anything. So I was like, next day I walk around, I just keep like, it's just limping, it's just hurting. Like, I don't know, like I'm just walking around, like I just sit out the next 3 practices, hurt. Now I tried to like go again, but like it was still hurting. So I finally got an MRI and they said I had a 4th metatarsal stress reaction. And then I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I play on it? Do I sit out? Like, and then luckily our trainers, they actually had this special surgery done to help it, like with like a calcium phosphate, like special surgery. And I came back in like 3-4 weeks, which is absurd, honestly.
That's unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To come back from something like that. Now you tried your debut game for Ole Miss was Alabama. You tried to give it a go. I mean, everybody knew you weren't 100%, but you tried to give it a go. And how frustrating was that to be out there? You're on the road, Tuscaloosa, debut game, and we all knew you weren't 100%. Everybody knew that.
Yeah, that part was frustrating, but it was kind of a relief. Like, I finally get to play. Like, 4 weeks of not, like, I'm going 2 weeks I'm straight on the bike. Like, I'm going on the bike with a boot on my leg just to, like, get cardio. I'm in a treatment room 3-4 hours a day doing something. Like, it was crazy. Like, and I'm still trying to keep my cardio up because when I play, like, it's hard to keep your cardio up when you can't even move and run. And I had surgery. And I was, for like a week and a half of it, I was surgery, so I just had to lay up. So I just wait till the stitches come out so it doesn't get infected. But that part was tough. And then what was really tough is that before that week, like, I only went like Tuesday practice, I only went like 10 plays. Wednesday practice, I don't even know if I went. Thursday was just a walkthrough. Friday, I went like 5 plays. Like, so I didn't even like really get to feel like a practice week. It was just like go out and play versus a college football playoff team.
So virtually, you know, that was your introduction to SEC football. Go play.
I feel like I did more than warm-ups than I did the whole week. Like, so I was already a little, but like I feel like that just shows who I am. Like, team first, competitive. Like, we'll do anything that helps the team to win. Like, if they need me, I'll go. Whether I have to not walk and not be able to go. That's how I feel.
Well, the 2023 season, you know, you did come back from that foot injury, and then things started to pick up, and we're seeing week to week why you came to Ole Miss and why Ole Miss wanted you, steadily improving week to week, getting healthier. Was there a point during 2023 where you feel like, okay, things really started to click for you?
Yeah, I feel like when I was moving into probably the Vandy game, honestly, I found it like the way I was moving. I didn't get a ball that game, but like the way I was moving, like blocking wise and just running, I felt like, all right, I'm getting back to what I was right before the foot injury. Like, I'm starting to get back there. I feel like it kept improving throughout the week, throughout the whole season. 23,
that was a year that you're thrilled with, but there's some tough moments too. Your dad succumbs October 10th. You did get to spend some time with him. Thankful for that. But you come back, Caden, and I think it was like the next week after your dad's passed, you play against Auburn on the road at Auburn. Look, we've all had our share. I know we have of personal family losses, and you don't feel like doing anything. You went out and played football, college football on the road at Auburn. How in the world did you find the strength to do that?
Yeah, I just feel like even through while my dad was sick, he was always like, just worry about what you got going on, never about me. And I feel like, because like he'd be mad at me if I didn't play or if I didn't practice. Like, he was probably mad at me. I missed a couple like those bye week practices, honestly, because he always wanted me to do what I had to do or do what we got going on, but because he always did anything for any of me, my 2 brothers, my mom, my sister. He did anything for us, sports, anything. So he always wanted us to do. He always wanted to see do what we love. Like, I love playing football. He always wanted to see me do that, and I know he loved watching and all that stuff. So I knew I had to go out there and play.
You're playing for him, essentially. Took a lot of strength. I remember when I heard you were playing against Auburn, and I'm like, how in the world is this kid going to go out there and play? And you did. You guys won, which, you know, it's bittersweet. You're missing your dad. Glad you won. But to go out there and play in that kind of environment, it's pretty crazy. Do you remember any moments? I know hearing some of your teammates talk in other places, interviews, reading different things. Was there a moment, a significant moment you can remember from your teammates or anyone on staff here at Ole Miss about how they supported you and were there for you during that time? Can you specify a moment that stands out to you?
I feel like a lot of them, like a lot of my teammates and coaches were there for did a great job of being there for me, like doing whatever I needed to do to take time. Like I feel like Walker Howard, he was very good because I mean it's happened to him in the past with his mom, so it's not easy. He knows, like he kind of felt like the same, like he knows how it feels. Like some people don't know how it feels, like losing a parent, like losing someone really close to them. Like I mean, eventually it happens to people. It's gonna eventually happen to you, but people don't realize that until it happens to them. And he had to experience that at an early age, so he was always there for me. I respect him, like I love him for that. And then I feel like a lot of the coaches around here were awesome to me.
It's a brotherhood here. That's the thing that I've sensed being around here for all of these interviews, sitting down with you guys. All of you genuinely seem to really not just like each other. Y'all spend a lot of time together. Like you genuinely seem like you love each other and you're good friends. Is that, I mean, you'd like to think that's the case with every college football team. The truth is it's not. You know that from playing college ball at a couple different places. There's a brotherhood here. Is that safe to say? Oh,
yeah, definitely. I feel like people are always trying to hang around the facilities, whether it's or doing stuff outside of here, like playing pool, ping pong. There's PS4s, PS5s here. Like we go play pickleball. Some of the other players play pickleball. They always going golfing, playing bass. They're always doing something. Like they're always trying to hang out, do something around each other. Like a couple weeks ago, we all went paintballing as a whole team. I felt like that was awesome. Like, and yeah, I just feel like we're just trying to create that bond and like create that team camaraderie so it can help us later in the season because everything's not going to go our way during the season. I mean, that's anybody. Like something's going to go wrong. Like, but if we come together and we do what we're supposed to do, we'll figure it out.
Do you have a favorite moment from? There's so many to choose from in 2023. You know, you had I pick on you, not pick on you, but I'm like, how many one-handed catches are we going to see this year, right? We were talking about the Penn State game before we walked in here. I mean, you had a lot of one-handed catches during 2023. Is there a moment from 2023? We talked about being wide open in the Egg Bowl, you know, and looking around, not seeing anybody, and basically the score that was the difference in the game. Do you have a favorite moment from 2023?
Definitely probably winning the Egg Bowl, or people might think this is funny, but when I caught the onside kick in the bowl game, because I've messed one of those up before.
Really?
So, I've muffed a kick return before, so I feel like just growing from 4 years later and just catching an onside kick. I feel like I don't know. That's how I felt. That was probably my favorite play the whole day. Catching an onside kick.
I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
I was not expecting to hear onside kick. Because here's what you did in the Penn State game. 10 catches, one of those a one-handed catch, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. It could have been 3 if the officiating knew what they were doing when you caught that first one and they called it back for whatever reason. And after the roller coaster year you had in 2023, catching that onside kick, having such a great game, you know, against Penn State, winning 11 games, school history is made by this 2023 squad. You know, I really thought maybe you were going to say, yeah, having 10 catches in there.
That was cool too, but the 2-point conversion was awesome too. I feel like the onside kick and the 2-point conversion were probably the 2-point conversion was like a design play. I didn't get the ball, and like we caught on the opposite side. Like Dart kept rolling, he threw it back across his body, no one near me. I like that one too.
Yeah, you're wide open in that one too, weren't you? Yeah. Something about you getting wide open, right? Might be why you're pretty good, right?
I hope so.
Don't go anywhere. Audibles returns in a moment here on the Spirit Media Network.
It has often been said that home is where the heart is. It's where hard-working and dedicated people form the fabric of a thriving community. At Covington County Hospital, it's our priority to help keep our community safe, healthy, and moving. With our primary care clinics and services, we are working to keep you healthy. Because home is where the heart is. Home is where family matters. Covington County Hospital, where your health care matters.
We don't treat cancer, or design breathtaking buildings, or slow cook the town's most talked about barbecue. That's all you. You're the ones who create and astonish, game and laugh, who come together and imagine a safer, more connected world. The things you do inspire us every day. So much so, it's right there in our name. Customer inspired. C-Spire. Inspired by you.
Harvested in June and July, Mississippi-grown sweet corn arrives just in time for your cookout or outdoor get-together. But you better be quick. Once Mississippi-grown sweet corn appears on your local farmers market shelves, it disappears just as fast. There are so many ways to cook and eat Mississippi-grown sweet corn, but of course our favorite is corn on the cob.
Sweet corn, just one of the many foods the Mississippi farmer grows for you, the farm families of Mississippi.
Family owned and operated since 1986, Lakeside Molding has become the trusted source of architectural products throughout the South. They offer fine interior architectural moldings, custom millwork, and cabinet doors designed and handcrafted in Flowwood. Their showroom on Lakeland Drive is stocked with today's most sought-after interior details, including corbels, post, fireplace mantles, bath vanities, mirrors, and much more. Tim Shoemaker and his staff work closely to meet client needs for new construction, restoration, and remodeling projects. Lakeside Molding, where details make the difference.
So the first walk of champions, I love asking this question. So, I mean, you're from Michigan and you probably heard about the walk through the Grove. Take me back to the first time you walked through the Grove, the Walk of Champions. What was
so
that
my
like?
first time playing with, I don't know. I think I did the Georgia Tech game. I was hurt. My first one, I was in a boot and stuff. So first the LSU week, that was
pretty crazy.
That was crazy. Just the amount of people there, the amount of people in the Grove, just walking through it, and you're like I'm ready. I'm ready to play now. Like just go and see all those people. Like, and then the game that happened, the LSU game was awesome.
What is the wildest thing you've seen coming through the Grove, or can you say?
I don't know. Probably just the people yelling. It's kind of like all the student body just yelling. That's pretty wild. I feel like you should. But nothing really too crazy. Just the amount of people was crazy.
What's the dumbest insult you've heard on the road in the SEC? Can you remember?
Dumbest insult I've heard on the road.
You know how the fans are yelling at all the opposing players and trying to insult them and get in their heads. Has anybody ever said something to you where you just went?
I feel like Auburn. I don't remember what they said, but the Auburn was pretty crazy. They were yelling a lot. Like when we're on the sidelines, like the student body behind our bench was yelling a lot, but nothing else. I really don't try not to pay attention to that too much.
You just drown it out.
Yeah, I'm always into the game, watching defense. If defense is up, I'm watching defense. If we need to make an adjustment, I'm always right there trying to see what we need to do.
Drowning it all out. You guys have built this incredible roster, both with incoming transfers, aligning with guys that are still here like you, Jackson, JJ, so on and so forth. And because of that roster that you guys boast, you've got Coach Kiffin building even more into this elite coaching staff that was already here and building onto it even more. So expectations are as high as anyone can remember around here in a very, very long time, possibly decades. So you hear what the fans say. You hear what folks at Media Days say. You hear what people say on social media. I'll ask you, what are the expectations for you and your teammates here at Ole Miss?
The expectation to me is to win every game, go 1-0 each week, and just control what we can control. Like none of the other stuff matters. Like prediction, how many wins you're gonna do, playoff team. But if we go 1-0 each week, the rest will take care of itself. That's how I feel.
You know, one of the things too, you know, when you've got incoming transfers, we keep hearing Coach Kiffin and other folks talk about, you know, they need to gel as a team. They need to gel as a team. Last time we were here, we were visiting with you before you guys hopped on a bus to go play paintball. Who won paintball, by the way?
So it was like 4 different teams, but it was like our scores it was 2-2. So it was even. It was good matchups. We tied, but the other one I don't know. It was like they like split up the teams.
JJ was trying to get us to go play paintball with you guys that day. So y'all have all these activities that are bringing you guys closer together. Do you feel you guys starting to gel as a team?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just like that stuff, like going to play paintball, like the tough runs we've been having, the little stuff, like that's gonna help us win in October, November when the SEC back to back. Those tough. You're gonna have to go on the road and win a big game versus a good SEC team, or you're gonna have to come home and like their team. Like we might have the more talent, but like they're gonna come ready to play because they know who they're playing. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely gotten more. I feel like we have a lot of good core leaders on this team, like older leaders, like whether it's Jackson, who played here last 2 years. He's old. This is last year. You got Bentley. His last year running back. And you got 3 receivers that this is their last year. Me, my last year, and then just the whole linemen that have been here and that have came in. They're all older too. So we have an old, especially on offense. We have an older, and even on defense, you got Jared Ivey, you got Pegues, you got some of those older transfers that this is their last year to go. So I mean, if the teams that win usually have the more teams, more players drafted, have the more success. So if we just do that, then good things will happen.
You're kind of one of the elder statesmen here now, talking about some of the older guys. Do you feel like we've documented for a young person to deal with all the different things? There's other things that have happened and we haven't documented. You've documented them on your social media and so on. You've been through a lot for such a young age, a lot. Do you feel like those experiences help shape you, not just as a person, maybe they make you a better football player, a better teammate? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like they make me better in all areas, whether even it's off the field, as a husband, as a father, like as a brother, just those things have got me. I feel like mentally, I feel like I have an advantage, like whether it's on the field or just outside the building, to be able to handle stuff. Whether something goes wrong in a game, like I feel like I'm there. And then, yeah, it's just this. I feel like even last year, I feel like those are the 2 toughest things that happen to somebody during a season: an injury, and then probably, like you said, my best friend just passed away. But I feel like that shaped me to who I am. And I mean, everyone's still growing. Everyone's still got room to improve. But I feel like I'm definitely ahead of the curve.
Been impressed with how you've handled everything so far. Need to say that to you while you're sitting here. So I'm going to hopefully not get you in trouble with some of the fans by asking you this. I've asked all you guys so far. Favorite Ole Miss uniform combo? Ole Miss has some of the best uniform combos in the country.
I feel like we got the best colors in the country.
In the country?
I feel like the red, blue, and white, and the gray, and I feel like I love those colors. I have to go with the Real Tree helmets, honestly. I mean, it's a little bit newer, but what do you think with the Real Tree? I like the new white ones. The new white ones that just released a couple weeks ago. Those are pretty sweet. But definitely the Real Tree helmet. It's awesome.
We're going Real Tree helmet. What about the
powder
top?
Blue jersey and probably white pants.
Powder white pants. Okay, I like it. The Grove Collective, they have done a phenomenal job here for you guys. They've created such a positive experience for you guys and created a vehicle that helps move you guys along, educate you in the field. Everything NIL, it changes daily. What's been your experience with the Grove Collective?
Oh yeah, they've been awesome. They just helped me, help me with so many things off the field that for me, it's huge because I have 2 kids, I have a wife, so I mean, it gets tough sometimes, especially like whether it's formula and stuff like that. Like they just help me in any aspect. Like I can't thank them enough.
Speaking of family, how were the kiddos? Everybody good?
Oh yeah, they're doing really well. Max is a little bit crazy. I mean, a lot of people probably see him on social media now, so he's pretty big on social media. But like, he's crazy, but he brings so much joy to my life. Like, it's crazy. Like, just seeing 3 years later, like how much he's grown. Like, and then like you don't really like. When I was like, because I had a little sister when I was I'm pretty good age gap. Just seeing her, like you just don't know. I like really realize it 10 years later, like walking, talking, they're trying to do everything you do. Like, like in Michigan the other day, like a couple weekends ago, we're at a golf course. So I'm like riding on the back of it, and like I think he's with Callie, my wife, and I think like, my sister was in the cart, and he's trying to go on the back and ride it because he sees me way ahead. So just seeing that stuff, and then Romy's doing really well. She's really just eating and sleeping, just like how a normal baby does. But they've been awesome. They brought so much joy to my life. Yeah,
I asked you before the interview. I said, because we saw you, last time we were here, and I asked you how much sleep you were getting. You were like, "Oh, I'm sleeping plenty." You said she's a good baby and she sleeps a lot, and Miss Callie. As a rock star mama. So
yeah, definitely.
You guys have it made right now, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? I mean, I know you spend a lot of time with your kids and your wife. When you're not doing one of these, you're not going to a meeting, you're not practicing or lifting or whatever the case is. What do you do to just try to wind down and chill out?
So recently I've been playing the new NCAA game a lot.
Okay.
New football game. I'm playing that a little bit. Just chilling at home, holding the baby, playing the game. Just holding her in my arm, playing the game. But over the summer, I've been playing some pickleball when I'm playing against coach a lot. And then I play some pool in the building too. I'm a pretty good pool player.
Really?
Yeah. I just like to do anything competitive. Like if someone thinks they're better than me or something, I'm still gonna try to beat them. But yeah, I've been playing probably those two things, and I'm starting to play the new NCAA game because it just came out.
All right, who's the best trash talker when you guys play that game together? Because I'm assuming you play it with some of your teammates. So
trash talker.
Yeah. Do you talk trash?
Yeah, me and Dart. We're teammates, so yeah, we talk a lot of.
Dart's a good trash talker.
Yeah, me and Dart a lot of. I feel like we get in people's heads.
I want to say a couple of your teammates sitting here. I asked them who was the best trash talker, and I think they said you. And I'm like, there's no way. He's such a nice, happy guy. They're like, no, Prieskorn talks some trash, man. So see, I didn't even tell you that before I asked you that question. A lot of guys have already said, oh yeah, Caden is a massive trash talker.
I am. I feel like people don't see that, but I am very I'm not so much on the football field. It's kind of hard. We go so tempo-ish, but in like pool or something or pickleball, I try to get in people's heads. You
know who to get some pointers from on trash talking? Keith Carter, your athletic director. I'm serious. There's an art to trash talking. Ask Keith Carter. So finish this sentence for me. Ole Miss football in 2024 is a success if
we go 1-0 each week. Is that
1-0 each week?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds just like your coach right now.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So my final question for you, Caden. Your time at Oxford has been rife with ups and downs, great moments, heartache. It's pretty much hit every color of the rainbow, so to speak, every hue and every shade, and the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You still got chapters to write here in Oxford and here at Ole Miss. What chapters do you still want to write here at Ole Miss?
I want to. We get for football wise. We made 11 wins. I want to go to 12. 12 plus.
Yeah.
Just keep adding on and just really just keep. Just doing good around the community and do whatever I can to just help out and just being a light to people. I feel like that's how my dad was. He was a light to people. People wanted to be around him. I feel like I'm trying to do the same thing.
You definitely have inspired me. I'll tell you that. I told you that when we met a few weeks ago, how impressed I've been with how you've handled everything. It's a lot that you've handled, both on and off the field. And the way you've handled it with such grace and determination and grit, just overall grit. It's been impressive. So I have no doubt you're ready for whatever life throws at you. And looking forward to watching you on the football field this year, man. Thanks for taking time to do this with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
Thanks so much. Bye, Steven. That's not even his name. His wife says he looks like a Steven, but his name is Patrick. Well, what did JJ say? Wasn't JJ sitting here?
He does. He does not look like a Patrick.
There you go. We're 2 for 2. The Ole Miss players have spoken.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another episode of Audibles with Jason Scarborough.